Welcome to the Whiskey Vaults.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Rex, and this is a bottle of
This
whiskey.
is Ragged Branch Weeded Bourbon from Eric Williams' Magnificent Bastard.
Eric Williams, you magnificent
Bastard!
So how's your relationship going? Hey, we can help. Just put your questions.
Yes,
Down below.
We've been vetted, given countless high-quality suggestions to couples who come to a point where there is a misunderstanding, a disagreement, an impasse of some point.
Of any kind. Any kind.
And then we rectify the situation by explaining dump her ass.
That's, oh. Okay, so this is...
You don't need women, you have whiskey.
Whoa, smell that. And
Wow.
look at how dramatic. This is Virginia.
Wow.
These guys are actually making Virginia bourbon.
Yeah.
They at one point consulted with Pickerel, R.I.P., before he died. But Pickerel didn't help them build the distillery. He showed up a year and a half in after they had already started doing things.
Yeah.
And then gave him some tips and pointers. And
This is a nose that whenever you find a whiskey that's so dense, it comes across almost as like whiskey extract.
yeah,
It's so concentrated in that nose.
seriously dense.
Yeah. And
This is a weeded bourbon, 66 corn. What's the
Did you
proof?
see the proof on this? Based on the nose,
50.
45%.
No.
Yeah.
Good night.
That's a lot of
That is
flavor leaping out of the glass at 45%.
Unbelievably dense.
Ooh.
Oh.
Grains, farms, granola, nuttiness, honey. It's raining now.
Your scooter's getting wet.
No, it's fine. It's been rained on dozens
Well, I
of
was
times.
going to take the kids swimming when we got done with this, but I guess that's not going to happen.
Have them roll around.
Yeah.
There's a proteiny, savory quality to this.
Yeah, I'm heading towards that.
Yeah.
Like, I was actually going to say savory,
Yeah.
but I can't figure out what kind. It's not soy sauce.
It's like
But-
a very, very marinated meat. You ever have like a steak that's been super marinated? That's
I don't
really
know.
loud.
What would be the difference between basically 48 hours in a fridge and a pack?
Yeah, but it's the pack that's vacuum sealed, so it forces all of that
I don't think
marinade
I
down
have.
into the. Yeah, it's okay. I've just been more experienced with you at tasting things.
Okay, that's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. And there's a dark, like almost
Wow.
almost a furniture polish quality to that.
That is rich.
Yeah.
Incredibly rich.
So I get granola, furniture polish, a little bit of antique wood,
Yeah.
slight thread of coffee underneath all that.
You getting coffee? I'm not getting
A
coffee.
slight thread of the coffee, and it shows up a quarter of the way through, and then that dissolves into nothing. But a quarter of the way through on the taste. So a little bit of coffee, and then it fades away. You're left with the more savory, dense things.
See, I was evergreens. I was thinking evergreen forest.
Yeah,
Like
kinda
mulch
piney.
and trees and evergreens and wood.
Yeah, I totally get that too. Totally get that too. Maybe a little molassesy? There's a lot of things going on in this one.
This is one of the more complex and dense 45s percent alcohols I've ever tasted.
I think this is probably going to be an explorer class whiskey, not necessarily something for people that are very casual, that want something basic and sweet, and it's not doing too many things that they can't wrap their head around.
Batch 8, bottle 373. And you do have a few comments still.
You just want to get right to the comments so we can give more relationship advice, don't you?
Yes.
Because we're just, a couple minutes into this?
Look, we're just swimming in it. We're swimming in relationship advice.
Captain 92, Morgan. So how many bottles need to be waiting in the queue before we get 2 a day? My God.
Can you imagine? We shoot 4 or 5 videos at a time.
Yeah.
It's already a heavy lift. We had to 2-a-days. We will die.
Speaking of relationship advice, I think she would leave me if I was doing 2 of these a day. Come
Every
home.
single time.
How you doing, baby?
Every week.
No, we don't. We've said this before. We don't actually drink that much.
No,
just sample pours. Yeah, but after 5, whenever you do 5,
It still doesn't matter if you're actually drinking even a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Wallace Gromit,
Ha! Nice.
I like
Nice
the,
touch.
I like the reference there. Bubblegum flavor comes from esters, right?
Yes, that is accurate.
What are esters?
The esters are the heavy flavor compounds that show up in fermentation, and depending on how you distill, can make it all the way through to the end product.
Okay.
Right? For example, if I'm not mistaken, amyl acetate, which is banana, is an ester, right? But this one, bubblegum, also, I do agree, has shown up. And remember we've said Big League Chew?
Yeah.
Okay. That's technically a fault.
Okay.
It shows up in fermentations, often in fermentations gone off.
I like Big League Chew.
Yeah. But when you distill it, it shows up in the heads and the early hearts.
Okay.
And it's in the family of, I wrote this down on their note thing so I could remember the pronunciation of it because my mind was going weird.
Yeah.
Butyric acid.
So,
Anyway, it's considered a fault. Now, if it shows up in small quantities, you can sometimes bleed it out,
Right.
barrel age it out, cut it out with heart cuts. But if you're getting it in the end product, Yeah.
the question then becomes a fault according to who?
well, okay.
Because
So,
some
what's the
people-
definition of a weed? A plant where you don't want it,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So, at really high levels, it's definitely a fault. Like you let one thing take over the whole flavor, and even the wood can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
I would say that's considered a fault. That threaded so far through
Right.
that it buried everything else.
Yeah.
But if you intentionally let something happen and then distilled it just at the edge to keep that accent in, and you chose it, and that's your choice.
Yeah.
But-
I like the occasional bubblegum note.
By most distillers, it's considered a fault.
Okay. This pine forests, mulchy, molassesy, almost like a little bit of a dark charred honey.
Now I'm getting raisins. Wax and raisin.
You know what? You said that, and my brain immediately forced raisins to happen.
Yeah, Sun-Maid. Open that cardboard box.
Definitely raisins. Yeah, definitely darker, heavier,
That is,
richer
I
flavors.
agree, completely an exploratory whiskey.
Yeah, I like it. If you're into
Not a
like,
simple drinker.
if you're into like diving through layers of whiskeys, that'll deliver. Was that a full episode we just did? Wow, that was quick.
Face is quick.
That doesn't mean anything. Just buying time here, because we would feel bad if it was a really short episode.
Do you want me to give you some relationship advice?
We should, yes.
Okay. Ready to go.
Wait, you're giving me relationship?
Yeah, you just gotta give me a problem and I'll solve it for you.
Oh. Huh. Okay.
You got nothing?
Well, I am pretty
Your,
perfect.
your relationship is too perfect?
I am amazing.
Oh, wow, okay. Well, I guess my work is done here.
But if we're talking about her,
Oh, well, of course.
I'm kidding. We must end this episode.
Look, as your advisor, I think we've already put our finger on the problem.
Right. Here's the situation. No, here's the situation, right?
Okay.
God, this is how I get a lecture. It's probably, you know what it's going to be? It's going to come from your sister.
Yeah.
Your sister's going to be coming to my wife. It's like, did you say the episode or Rex is talking
Yeah.
about? Sure, I don't care.
I don't
Do
care.
whatever you want, Sarah.
Don't care.
Do what you want, Sarah Whittington.
Yeah.
I don't even care. Brad Whittington,
It's
go
not
tell Sarah.
Whittington, although it's Sarah Combs.
Oh, yeah.
Although
Right,
I
right,
still,
right.
at least once a month,
Call
get
her.
my phone and go, Siri, call Sarah Whittington.
Right.
And there's no one in your phone of this. God damn it. Call Sarah Combs.
Yeah. So they got 3 kids, 2 older boys, like 14 and then like 11-ish.
Who've been working their butt off this summer.
Exactly. So they're working around the property, around the distillery, and I have all of these people that, like Joe and like my wife, and they're trying to make their lives easier. Because, my oldest will be busting his ass and it's really hot. It's like, man, I got a little sunburn yesterday. And instead of like saying, well, put on some sunscreen and sack up, get out there. Say, Joe, maybe I'll find some more indoor stuff for you to do. In the meantime, there's like a team of dudes, like grown-ass men sweating their asses off. So giving the context.
Yeah.
Giving the context. I don't want him to like bust his ass all his life, but give him that reference point. So he knows what it's like to have worked really, really hard, manual labor.
Yep.
And then the same thing in my house. Like a little bit at home, like I'm Brandy. It's like, well, that was really hard, and maybe we should do this thing so it's easy. Easiness, that's like the opposite of the point. Contextually, this is not, why are we doing anything? We're trying to...
My dad used to make me weed the lawn.
Right.
And we gave me a skateboard. He's like, this is how you keep track of where you've weeded.
Yeah.
Just weed in front of the skateboard. You can use it to put your knees down.
Yeah.
And then shift it forward, and you do it in rows like you're mowing the lawn.
Right.
And I used to be out there in the summer
Right.
in Texas with a skateboard on my knees, weeding the lawn one piece at a time.
And this was just something for you to do. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get paid for that.
Here's the situation. Here's the situation, because apparently we're a relationship advice show now. So this was like 4 years ago. 4 years ago, my kid was doing something unacceptable. So he was getting a little too old for timeout, and like, what do you want to do? It's like, man, that was screwed up. I want you to go in the backyard with scissors. You know those big playground domes that you can climb over? All up under that was just oak tree sprouts. Thick oak tree sprouts. It's like, I want you to manually cut down every single oak tree sprout in here. So, like, my wife comes home later, my kid tells on me, like, like I'm in trouble, like I shouldn't have done this. Like, Dad made me cut. My wife's like, well, that was a little harsh. No, it wasn't harsh at all. This was not a big, mean, like, cruel thing. This was
The job that needed to be done, you're going to do it now.
To sit outside in some hot weather, and you cut some weeds, so it's going to take you like 30 minutes, and then you're going to not do that thing that you did.
Yeah.
This is very reasonable to me. I hear about that to this day. You remember that time?
Is this your Jurassic Park?
Remember that time Dad made me go outside with the scissors? And the way the story unfolds, we're really padding this episode. the way the story unfolds, it gets described as more and more yard.
Oh yeah, and then you beat them in between.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was like probably an 8-foot diameter circle.
Yeah.
Right. And now it's like up to 1/4 of an acre.
Yeah.
Outside.
It's mid-July.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's how you pad an episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight me, I'm fighting for a friend.
Steal, make you steal your liver's heart.
And if you drink,
May you drink with us.